Hello, everyone, and welcome to my Darling's Distractions. My name is Luke, and I'm joined, as always, by my lovely wife, Deb. Hi, Deb.
Hi, Luke.
Hey, we are going to jump right back in. I know we just released an episode last week, but we're going to jump right back in because we've got, hopefully, some good things planned throughout the month. One thing we thought we would do this episode is get to some listener voicemails. And
this is a favorite thing to do. It's always really fun.
Yeah, so we are going to, this episode, we're going to take a minute to listen to some voicemails that you guys have sent us and kind of talk about those. Also, we'll get a chance to do something that I kind of teased a while back when we went to visit your brother Matt, and that would be on episode 15, I believe, the Who Wants to Be a Matt-Leonaire.
Yeah. That was a good one.
Yes, that was my portmanteau of that. Yes, portmanteau, I believe, is when you take two words and you smash them together.
Okay.
So who wants to be a Matt-Leonaire? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, on episode 15, Matt actually took a turn at interviewing us with some very important questions.
Yeah.
And so we will
Things that everybody needs to know.
Everybody needs to know. So we will get a chance to listen to that in a segment a little bit later.
Yeah.
But actually, first, I wanted to ask you a question, Deb.
Oh. Okay.
So I was sitting watching our oldest daughter, and she was just busting out laughing. She was watching. She's really gotten into a certain YouTuber that she likes, and I can't remember the duo's name. It's two people.
Yeah.
But they do kind of what we do is they just kind of shoot the breeze.
Okay.
And I think they also do little activities like doing crafts and things like that. But anyway, she
Seems tame.
Yeah, she was laughing at and it's on kids' YouTube, so
Okay,
it has
good.
to be tame.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, so she was watching, and I was talking with her about it, and I was asking what was so funny, and she says they were answering questions, and one of the questions they asked, and I'm curious what your answer would be.
Okay.
Is Deb?
Yeah.
Would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses to the death?
To the death?
I mean, I don't know.
Did you just add that part?
I did, because
Yeah.
I'm like, when do you stop fighting? Like, who's the ref who says, okay, well, you clearly won this?
Right.
So anyway, Deb.
You need to have an ending point.
Deb, and this is something that our oldest daughter talked with me about. She thought it was funny, and also she felt like she had the obvious answer, and I don't know if I agree with her. So Deb,
okay.
would you rather fight one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses?
And this sounds like important questions that everybody needs to know. What did you say?
I said 100 duck-sized horses, which I feel like is the right answer.
Okay. My first thought is to say one duck-sized horse.
So now that is what our daughter said as well, and that's the wrong answer.
Why?
Okay, here's a question. Deb, have you ever fought a horse before?
No. Have you?
Kind of, in a way.
Okay.
When's the last time you've like ridden a horse?
I think I did it with your grandparents.
Okay.
Like maybe 3 years ago.
So the reason I say that you've got the wrong answer is because I've had up close and personal interactions with a horse.
Okay.
So at my aunt and uncle were ranchers, and so they would raise horses, and so they would castrate horses as just part of the ranching process.
Okay.
And so, like, I remember I must have been in high school. There was a time where we helped them castrate a 1-year-old horse while it was conscious. So I can say without a doubt that a duck the size of a horse could really mess you up. It took I think there were probably 7 of us trying to help get this horse. We had to back it over a rope.
Do you mean a horse the size of a duck?
No, I mean the duck is the size of a horse.
Okay, but it's also a duck. It maintains all of its gentle properties of a duck.
Okay, Deb,
it's not going to just spontaneously adopt a horse
demeanor.
Demeanor.
Okay,
yeah.
but here's the thing, Deb. the other thing that I think you're missing, ducks are mean. I mean,
Okay.
don't you think so? Don't you think ducks?
They hiss.
Yeah, but imagine.
I mean, a goose
But imagine.
will hiss.
Imagine, what do you think a duck would do to something that's like half its size? You think if a squirrel
I've
came
never
up to
seen
a duck
be mean.
You've never seen a duck be mean?
No. I've seen a goose like hiss before and kind of act like they're going to come at you.
Okay.
But never a duck.
Duck, I just called you Duck. Deb, I'm just saying.
Are you going to concede?
No, I'm just saying that ducks are a terror. And if they were the size of a horse, we would all be scared to death.
Okay. Like, and was the stipulation that there's 100 of them?
No, so it's either one horse-sized duck, so a very big duck,
Okay.
or 100 duck-sized horses. So 100
okay.
horses that are just running around, but they're only like, maybe 6 inches tall. I feel like I could totally destroy 100 6-inch horses, right? You just kick and throw, and
Probably.
I just feel like there's nothing they could do.
Okay. But also they're like mad horses, probably, is what you're saying. And like,
but like, yeah. So, but I mean,
Okay.
if you think about like
They're
how
very
hard,
strong.
if you think about how hard a horse could kick, like, have you ever been kicked by?
people die from being kicked by a horse.
But what if it's the size of a duck? So have you ever been
What
kicked?
if there's 100 of them?
I know, but it's like a hundred hits from like, I don't know, like 100 punches from a kitten.
No.
I mean, okay, I understand they're stronger than a cat, probably. I'm just saying.
I wonder if the YouTubers had such a long conversation about
Probably
this.
not. They probably just answered it and moved on. You got to move fast on YouTube.
Yeah, you do.
Not here on My Darling's Distractions. We really just let those ideas.
I think
really
we
just
might
sit.
have been talking around in circles a little bit.
Okay, so Deb, real quick, what's your answer? One duck-sized horse, one horse-sized duck, or 100 duck-sized horses?
I think I originally said one horse-sized duck.
And you're sticking with that.
I am.
Okay, you're wrong. Okay. Anyway, I just thought that was so our daughter and I had an interesting conversation about what she thought.
And those are the things that really build a relationship between a dad and daughter.
Yeah, someday she'll look back and it's those
Depositing
those
in
are
the
the
bank.
deposits you're putting in the bank.
Yep.
Okay.
That'll
Wow.
pay off in the end.
That's right. Okay, well, thanks for answering that question. I just wanted to bring that up. That just came up today.
That was great.
Or no, maybe yesterday. Anyway, Deb, do you want to jump into some voicemails?
Please.
Please.
No, that was fun.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Deb, let's jump into a couple of voicemails. This first one we have is from friend of the show, Liz, friend and family of the show.
Yes, Liz. What do you have for us?
All right, let's hear from Liz.
Hey guys, I'm listening to episode 18, or is it 17? Anyway, it's the look back on your 15 years of marriage, and I just have to say I laughed so hard at the story about Luke flying on the plane. I'd heard a little bit of that story before, but I did not know that he started punching the guy next to him. And I just laughed till I cried, and I don't know how often I've ever done that in my life. So thanks for sharing that story. And also, I just want to say I knew exactly what you were going for, Deb, with the lift instructor
Oh, yeah.
crazy song. You've shared that story with me before, so I knew exactly what you were going for there. I'm not finished listening to the podcast yet, but I just had to tell you that really made me laugh. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, Liz should be on our payroll or something.
Yeah, Liz develops about half of our content.
I know.
Thank you, Liz.
Yes. Okay. So I had forgotten that I told Liz that story about the instructor from the Y. So I'm glad that she knew what I was talking about.
Yeah.
Plus, that story about you on the plane. Oh my goodness. It's one of my favorites. And I think for like the first 5 years that I told that story, I would laugh the exact same way, just to the point of tears. And I think now I'm just a little bit more used to it.
Yeah, I'm glad that my embarrassment can share a little bit of joy with the world. So you're welcome for that, Liz. Yeah. Okay. We are going to, hey, it's an oldie but a goodie. We're going to get another voicemail. This one is from Miles from Sioux Falls.
Miles! Whoop, whoop.
All right. Here we go.
Hey, guys. Congratulations on a whole year of my darling's distractions. I can't believe that it's been that long. Like, it's astounding, like, that you guys have been able to keep it up. I mean, that's the hardest thing for a new podcast, right, is to find a rhythm and a schedule. You guys have done it despite having your own personal engagements and children to raise and all those other things that sort of take our attention away from doing the good, honest work of podcasting. So hats off to you guys. That's fantastic. It's a delight every time a new episode comes out. I've even gotten our kids hooked on it too. Nice. So when they hear me talking about a new episode, they get all excited and want to hear the new episode along with me. So it's fantastic. You guys are bringing our family together.
Nice.
I want to say this latest episode, the anniversary episode, was very brave. Particularly Luke, you were very brave to take on that quiz challenge because I don't know if this is what you're like, but for me, I have something of a head for trivia involving, I guess, trivial things like, say, quotes from a TV show that's a decade old that was a huge hit a while ago. And then when it comes to things that actually happened in my life, I have less of a clear memory of what happened, what was said, and where things took place. So I would be absolutely terrified to take a similar kind of quiz about my life with my loved ones. So kudos to you for taking that on, for being a good sport, and for doing a decent job at it, because I think I would just get every single question wrong. But congratulations to you guys. Another fantastic episode. And here's to another year. And then done. Then you should stop. 2 years. That's it. Then you stop after that. Okay. Okay. Love you. Bye.
Yes. So speaking of payroll, I think also we owe
add him to the list.
We owe Miles a debt of gratitude that he's continued to give us interesting things to talk about. So.
Thanks, Miles. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, and I actually spoke at the beginning of that episode where I was genuinely a little bit nervous because in general with this show it is about like very trivial things and then you kind of bust on me this idea of like, oh, by the way, we're going to see how much you know about us. And like it did feel a little, I felt the weight of it, but
did you feel nervous?
I just, yes, I did. I felt nervous in the way that like I don't want it to appear that I don't care, or that I've not paid attention or whatever.
Okay,
but
yeah.
no, thankfully,
I guess I get that.
Thankfully, it felt like everything turned out okay. So.
Yeah, it did. You did well. And Miles sure does know a lot about trivial things, doesn't he?
And he knows a lot about his family. I mean, he's not kidding anybody. Like, he would.
I'm sure he does. I was just going to say, if you want to hear Miles's take on Lost, you can go check out our Lost episode, right?
Yes, I couldn't tell you.
I think he knew the most out of any of us. And I think he would do just fine in a quiz about his life.
Yeah, that was back in episode 16 was the Lost episode. So speaking of episode 16, we've got another voicemail from a darling who was on that episode, from Holly, who was on that episode.
Nice.
All right, let's see what Holly has to say.
Okay.
Bop, 2x2 Bible. Let's talk about floods. Bop, 2x2 Noah. It's Holly. Bye.
That is so great. Noah.
Yeah, so I think that was a jab at me.
It totally was.
Yeah, it's referring back to our boy bands episode 17, where I was nearly positive that the Mbop song by the Hanson brothers, by Hanson and Hanson and Hanson,
Hanson and Hanson,
the law firm of Hanson, Hanson and Hanson, I was nearly positive that song was a Christian song about Noah. And when you hear it, I don't know, I did hear like what she said. Let's be like, two by...
And then she made up her own words.
nice job.
That was awesome.
Yes, thank you, Holly.
Really excited to hear from you, Holly.
Yes.
How would Holly do on a quiz about her loved ones? I think she would ace it.
Yeah. No, actually, Deb, I don't think she's a very good mom.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. No, yes. Thank you very much. Yes.
She would ace it.
Yes, she's very good.
Thank you, Holly. That
Yes,
was really
thank you,
funny.
Holly. We also got a couple of voicemails. We had a couple of messages from people outside of our voicemail through social media or through emails and things like that. So
yes.
anyway, I wanted to, for this, because it's kind of boring to hear us read, I thought I would bring out our professional message reader, Jeeves.
Jeeves, yeah.
So hold on here. I just got to unlock him from his closet. Okay. Hey, Jeeves. How's it going?
Hello, sir and madam, and thanks for letting me out of my tiny closet.
Well, Jeeves, you're very welcome. I was wondering if you would be willing to read a couple of messages for us.
Yes, sir, and may I say, Deb, you are looking as lovely as ever.
Oh, Jeeves.
All right, that's quite enough out of you, Jeeves.
Sorry, sir. The first message comes from friend of the show, Alison. I loved Plank Eye. So glad you included it in your latest podcast. Happy you played my favorite song.
All right, thanks, Jeeves. Yeah, so
Allison's a fan of Plank Eye.
Yeah, I remember, or at least from what I can remember from that episode, I felt like you were kind of like, Plank Eye? Who's ever heard of Plank Eye?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Accurate. I had no, maybe I'd heard of them once or twice, but yeah, I no exposure.
Okay, yeah, and I didn't have a ton of exposure to them either, but their name just fits so well with the type of quiz I was trying to do.
I agree. It was a good one.
So thank you for that, Allison, because that just gives me a little bit of reassurance that I wasn't
That was
totally
validating.
Off. I was not totally off base about that. So.
And apparently the song that you played in the podcast was her favorite one.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think it's maybe not their most popular song, but it's maybe the one that I just found the most meaningful, and I liked. I think it's a great song.
Cool.
But, all right, geez, do we got any more messages to read?
Yes, we do. Glad to serve Sir Luke and the ravishing Lady Deborah.
All right, well, thank you, Jeeves.
Oh,
That's
boy.
a little flattering.
Yikes.
But, okay, yeah, go ahead and take it away. What we got next?
The next message is from friend of the show, Stacey. Deb, I am listening just now, and I can't believe that I absolutely do not remember working with Luke or introducing you. I can't believe it. I'm rolling that he thought I liked him. What a hoot. Also, Luke's dad Fosho gave the longest speech ever. And he talked about divorce and how we all were responsible for not letting you guys get a divorce.
Thanks for that, Stace.
Yes, thanks.
Can we talk about what episode that was from?
Oh, sure. So that was from our anniversary episode as well. So that would be episode number 18.
Yeah. And we talked about how Stacy introduced us, and she used to work with her, and she would always smile at you, and you thought that she liked you. And she did not remember that at all, which surprised me to no end because she has a great memory.
Yeah.
But
maybe it just shows maybe how forgettable I was at that place, because I think it was I was literally hood up,
Yeah.
stocking cap on,
It
gloves
was like
on.
5 in the morning.
It's 5 a.m, and I was working in like the freezer or the cooler section, so I'm sure I was just bundled up.
Or
and
5:30. I remember Stacy getting up way too early
think
because she was my roommate.
I think I was there at 4, so.
Oh,
it was
boy.
early. Yeah. So, all right. Well, thank you, Jeeves, for that, and back to the closet with you.
But it is so cold in there. Please,
Sir, don't put me away.
All right, that's enough. All right.
Oh, see ya.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, those are voicemails. Hey, if you...
Thanks, guys.
Yes, thanks for sending in those voicemails. If you have... if you want to send us a voicemail with... Maybe you've got a question for us or a comment.
Or just let us know if we made a mistake.
Yep, a correction. Any of those things. You can call our voicemail. You can call us at...
61 air 0 volt.
61 air 0 volt. You can you'll find that number on our website. We have a call button right on our website or on our Facebook page. You can find that information on the My Darlings Distractions Facebook page.
Or Instagram?
It might be there. I don't know.
I don't know. We don't really know how to do Instagram.
Oh, man.
I know,
Yeah.
it's kind of a...
Yeah. But the best place to go for all the links to all of our different social media and stuff is mydarlingsdistractions.net.
Yeah.
.net. Okay, we are going to listen here to a little segment from, like I said, our time with Matt, and it was a great opportunity to have an expert conversationalist ask the important questions, the hard hitting important questions of life. So we're gonna
not sure. It's been a while since, so I'm not really sure of my answers.
Sure.
But I'm sure it will be entertaining.
Yeah. So we are going to throw that in here, and then right after we're done with that, we are going to come back for another voicemail and just info about our upcoming show. So we will see you on the other side.
I actually wanted to do a little interviewing of the hosts and just find out from your perspective what do you find difficult about podcasting, and what do you find rewarding about podcasting?
Rewarding, just the so much is rewarding. I think the opportunity to sit and talk with Luke and get to know him better and myself better. I think that since we started doing this, I've discovered, I said to someone the other day, just discovered my own voice, I think, a little bit. And also get a chance to learn about Luke and to be able to sit down with almost all of my family members and have conversations with just them. And now we have documented memories. Right. Really fun.
That is really great.
What's difficult? Starting the podcast. The very first 3-4 minutes takes me a little bit to, and I kind of prefer if Luke will start it.
Yeah.
So mine for me aren't probably nearly so sentimental, or not as sentimental. But so one thing I think is I enjoy the most is just getting a chance to talk with Deb one-on-one a lot. Like it's always just fun. I always feel very close to her after we've had a chance just to talk, because we just don't. I don't think I'm very good at doing that. Sitting down face to face. Just talking about something. The car brings that out of me, which is good, and also the podcast. So that's very good. I also really enjoy editing. I really find that I like to sit down. I mean, it takes a lot of time. It's probably for about every minute, there's probably maybe 3 minutes I have to spend editing. So if it's an hour, I usually spend about 3 hours editing, just kind of putting in things. I really like to pull in interesting music and just rearranging things and getting it. I like that.
Plus games.
Yeah, and I really like playing games.
Absolutely. That's one of the things I appreciate about you guys is that you love to play games. That was hard for us when we moved to Texas. We didn't find a lot of people that like to play games or drink coffee after supper.
Oh.
Now, because America wants to know, and I've got a chance to have the podcasters right in front of me, and everyone is looking for a little bit more dish on your lives as individuals. The thing that I would like to know is, well, everybody knows the potluck situation can be very hard, having to attend a potluck.
Oh, yes.
And maybe a large portion of the listening audience isn't even familiar with potlucks anymore.
Sure.
Right.
If they're not in those, don't run in those circles. But Deb, let's start with you. So when you approach the potluck table, what are you really looking for? And
Yeah.
then is there anything you can see in a dish that will make you make it an automatic pass?
Oh, an automatic pass.
So maybe just start with kind of where are your eyes set and what are you hoping for?
I think that Italian food is something that I'm always kind of looking for. If someone has a good like spaghetti bake or like lasagna is my favorite.
Really?
Pizza. Yes, if someone brings a Casey's pizza to a potluck, I mean, that's...
Yeah, store-bought food is always a winner
Yeah.
automatically. Yeah.
So I really enjoy that. I will pass on a pasta salad, though. Like a cold pasta salad, pass.
Automatic pass.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a favorite.
Luke, what would you say?
I think for me it's automatic. I think most every meat dish is an automatic. You push the line of me passing you by if you make your meat dishes too sweet. Like if it's in a really sweet sauce, I'm not a big fan of that. But like if I just see, even if it's just something as simple as just hot dogs laid out in a tray that have been warmed up in the microwave, I'll probably take one. But the thing that I think that makes me
I'm with you.
Yeah, that's right. The thing that makes me pass is often a casserole made from a vegetable I'm not really familiar with. Like I will get down on a green bean casserole, a corn casserole, but like any sort of a casserole-like dish, and maybe there's like, I don't know, I can't even think of good examples now, but you think of maybe anything other than green beans or corn in a casserole, I think I'm going to pass.
So I did food service as my work study job in college, and one of the things that Luther liked to put out occasionally was something called for the crowd casserole, which was just what you can imagine it was.
Was it like everything that was left over thrown into one?
It was kitchen sink casserole,
Yep.
basically. Yeah, and they called it for the crowd.
I mean, is it popular? Was it popular? Did people enjoy it?
No.
Yeah, I mean,
But no.
I suppose they're trying to get rid of it, and if they can get somebody to take at least a couple of servings.
Correct. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Okay, so now just last question for you all, just kind of lightning round. You're driving down the road. There's Red Robin on one side of the road, Olive Garden on the other side of the road. Where are you going, Deb?
Sorry. You know where I'm going with it. Red Robin.
Okay. I think I have to go with Olive Garden because are we with children or not with children?
This is a date night.
Okay, Olive Garden.
Red Robin.
Wow.
Still Red Robin.
Okay, so Luke, you're going to be at Red Robin. Deb, you're going to be at Olive Garden. Date night has
very
become
interesting because in our home in the town where we visit to go out to eat, it literally Red Robin and Olive Garden are probably 20 steps apart from one another.
Right next to each other. So we could literally sit outside and wave at each other.
That's right. I could sit on the patio of Red
Yeah.
Robin and still talk with Deb.
Yeah.
I don't know if Olive Garden is outdoor seating.
Let's do that.
Yeah, I mean, with Red Robin, it's really tough to beat the bottomless fries.
I take advantage of it.
Yeah,
If you want to get on my good side at a Red Robin, you are a waitress or a waiter who comes, and when they take my order, I order my hamburger. They like I've had some do this. They immediately just go ahead and bring me out a basket of fries before my food even arrives.
Yeah.
Just get those fries started.
That's
and you
huge.
know, you know that I'm going to be asking for more.
That's huge. I mean, on the Olive Garden side of the ledger, there's a lot to be desired there
so
too.
Good. I love their salads.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I really like, I like their breadsticks. But you have pasta dishes there that, like, I just don't make those at home. You know, like chicken parmesan. I don't know. I just don't make that ever. So that's a fun.
Both good.
So I know we're into overtime here, but while I've got you, America wants to know. Okay, so you're out for lunch with a friend, right? And you go to a restaurant. You're sitting there, just the two of you at the table. Which one are you? Are you more likely to be the person who is doing a lot of the talking and question asking, and the other person? You're doing a lot of the talking and the other person is doing most of the eating? Or are you likely to be doing most of the eating and the other person most of the talking?
I'm doing most of the talking.
And Luke, how about you?
I think for me, I do most of the eating at first.
Oh yeah, Luke gets done in like 5 minutes.
I can eat a meal. Yeah, I can eat a meal in a solid 3 minutes. Just sit down, and my scoops are hearty. And I'm a two or three chomps of the teeth, and then it's down the throat type of person. So no, I can definitely, I'll eat and just be done, and they'll just be kind of sitting arranging their food, and I'm finished, and then I will talk after I've done.
Yeah.
So
Great. And if you're out as a couple, are you likely to be the couple that's tossing questions at the other couple more so, or are you the couple that ends up doing most of the talking?
Oh, you mean if we're out with another couple?
So separate question.
Yeah. I think the couples that we go out with, everybody's talking at once.
right.
Oh, it's just fruit basket upset.
Yes.
so.
Everybody's joking, laughing, trying to one up each other with,
Yes.
You
guys must have really good friends.
we do. We really do.
Yeah.
I think for us it's something where it also kind of depends on if this is it's a group where we're just going out with friends, or are we trying to maybe we're taking a couple out or reaching out to a couple that we haven't connected with. I do feel an obligation to kind of lead conversation when that happens.
Yes. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. We've had some friends in our life that we are fairly good at asking questions, but then it doesn't come back to us.
No.
And so that leads to a lot of awkwardness usually.
You guys keep asking question after
Yeah,
question.
and that's just kind of our
Same.
personality, and I feel like as long as we keep lobbing questions, and that keeps things on track. And
do you ever just say, "Can I talk about me for just a minute?"
I've been tempted to do that before. I've had meals where I haven't been asked a question at all. I just start talking about myself in order to give the other person time to eat.
Sure. Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because what
They
happens...
just keep talking. Yeah.
Correct. They do so much
Yes.
talking that I'm eating my meal and I'm getting close to done. They're not eating anything, and I'm kind of monitoring it as we go. And wow, if I don't have them stop talking and eat, we're going to be here for 3 hours because they're never going to get done with their meal. So as soon as
I've been there before.
Yeah, so if they stop talking, if they haven't asked me a question, I'll just begin talking about a subject of my choice.
Yeah.
The problem is then if they don't take that opportunity to eat,
Right.
Just sitting there.
if they're just sitting there listening, it makes me so
Very awkward.
Being polite.
yeah. Well, I really enjoyed being on the show today.
Well, thank you very
Thank
much.
you very
so
much.
Well, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was fun because it's been a while since we did that. When did we do that? Was that
Well, it was this summer, wasn't
Okay,
it?
so
It's
yeah.
been about maybe 3 months.
3 months ago? So felt like a long time ago. What's happened since then?
Those were some good hard-hitting questions, Matt.
That's right. You know what I'd like to say is I appreciate how many of them were focused around food and food etiquette.
Yeah.
I definitely feel right at home. I don't know what it is. I just feel like food.
You could talk about food.
is such a rich vein for conversation.
Yeah.
Everybody eats.
Everybody eats.
Everybody's got opinions on food. So So thank you, Matt, for asking, like I said, the important questions of life. We're going to wrap up this episode by doing a quick little question that also came in from Matt, but this one came in just recently. So this is
cool.
a voicemail that just
Another
came in.
voicemail.
Yeah, a voicemail recently from Matt. So let's see, now fast forwarding 3 months from when he originally interviewed us to now, let's see what question Matt has for us.
Yeah, hi, my darling's distractions. This is Matt from Portage, and longtime listener. I wondered if you would be willing to address this question on your podcast sometime. Do you have any goals for your podcast? Is it something you just do for fun, or do you have in mind some landmarks that you'd like to reach as far as number of listeners or number of episodes or anything like that? I just wondered in the back of your mind if you have some goals that you'd like to achieve. And I'll hang up and take my answer off the air. Thanks. Love you. Bye.
I like that we're
It gets
getting.
me every
I
time.
love you.
Well, and it gets me every time that I'll take my answer
I'll
off.
take my answer off
Every
air.
time. Every time it gets me. So Deb, what do you think about that question? I'll let you answer, and I'll answer, and we'll see if our goals align.
Okay.
Big part of marriage is aligned goals.
Good question. I've thought a little bit about that recently too. with the addition of the website and an Instagram account that we don't really know how to promote, and a Facebook page. But really all of that was for ease of archiving, right? Archival.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, and also what was most cost effective as far as the website. But it has been fun after our last episode to gain a few followers that like are not family.
Sure.
And I don't know if we will warrant and continue to warrant their following,
right,
but it's fun. And I don't know. I would say when I think about how long this will go, I always think about, well, someday it will be fun for our kids to listen to it.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Like, just to hear. But I do think about us recording something still when the kids are out of the house, you know, because we'll still have things to talk about.
Sure.
And
I hope so. Ooh,
I mean,
I
I
hope
don't,
so.
I guess I don't really see an end in sight.
Right.
Although Miles did say that we should stop after 2
Did
years.
call it, yeah. And we all know, I mean, we've all seen the things that go on just a little bit too long, so
I know.
that might be us.
Yeah.
But that that's
What are they? What is it? 6 seasons.
6 seasons in a movie?
6 seasons in a movie.
yeah, no, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I always think we'll always have things to talk about. There'll be new and fun things that we get into, you know, that we get interested in and distracted by.
Yeah.
So I foresee that we could have a lot to talk about for a while.
Yep, I agree. So yeah, for me to answer that question, I don't know that I've ever really thought about like long-term goals about like viewership. It's always been something where I see us, it's a very niche, like, hey, I could see if you're a friend of ours and don't mind catching up with us by, you know, listening to us while you wash the dishes.
Yeah.
Like I've kind of viewed us like fitting into that. And then like, hey, maybe we throw a fun game in there to at least keep it kind of interesting. Anyway, for anybody looking for interesting content that's Luke and Deb related, we will continue to be recording. So hopefully find interesting things to listen to. And our hope is that you find something that makes your day go a little bit better, a little bit smoother, and maybe by the end of it, you feel a little bit closer to Deb and I somehow.
Yeah, hopefully you laughed a little bit.
Yeah. Yes. Well, thank you for everybody who's listened and everybody who's left voicemails and communications. It is you guys who keep us going, so that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on this walk. This is fun for us.
Well, I've been Luke.
I'm still Deb.
And this has been My Darling's Distractions. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.